Wow. Is that something or what? They say leave nothing and take memories, and I definitely am getting the memories. One of the most beautiful places, and this is Onion Creek Upper Campground. It's on BLM land, but because it's got campsites with a picnic table, nothing else, but it's for the normal person, it's $20 a night. But if you have an annual or a senior America Pass, then you get it for half price. So we got 4 nights of this beautiful place for $40. Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. We're running the started the generator up about 10 this morning. We didn't run it all day yesterday or all night, so we run the Starlink, our little DC refrigerator freezer, and what else? I guess some phone chargers and the inverter. Had the inverter on. And last night run my CPAP machine, run a fan off the inverter, and then got up this morning, run the furnace for about an hour and a half, and some lights and things like that, and we were still at 42% on our battery. That 200 amp lithium battery, iron phosphate battery, is the bomb diggity. Before, with the lead acid, we would well, if you get down to 50%, you're gone. You start toasting the battery after that. And with this, we're down to 42. That's just barely below half of the battery, so we could have still run most of the day, but I figured that I would see the campground down there, run the generator, get it charged back up to 100%. We'll cut it off, and we won't need it again till tomorrow. What a deal. Still amazing. You think about that campground that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces. We came in yesterday. The only space that was open is where we're at. That's the exact same spot that we camped at 2 years ago in the Winnebago. And we prayed about it coming up here. Lord, we sure would like to be able to stay there. And we pull in. Looks like the people just left. It was the only open spot. And so, praise the Lord for that. Lord answered our prayer. And if there hadn't been any open spots, Lord still answered prayer. He would have showed us something else to go to. Wow. First getting up, first really high point here, you can see, is that gorgeous or what? So I'll give you kind of a 360. of where we're at. And we are just outside, right down in that bottom down there is the Colorado River that runs all the way up to Moab. We're probably 20 miles out of Moab. And then that big ledge you see up there, on past that, that's actually the Arches National Park. And we've been to Arches a couple of years ago. I won't tell you right now. This right here, and that whole drive, we went on a drive down that follows the whole canyon from the river last night and got some beautiful pictures. Is to me is more beautiful than the Arches Park itself. You know, Arches, I mean, it's got the namesake, which is the big arch, but I just say, and it's another one of those deals. If you just a regular person, it costs you $30 for a car to get in there. We have that America Senior Pass, and it's free to get in any national park. So every time we go on a national park, it saves us $30. It costs us $80 for a lifetime pass, and tell you what, that's just absolutely worth the money. I mean, all you got to do is be 60 years old and apply for it, and they send it to you, and all you got to do is present it and your driver's license when you go into the gate of a national park. If you're a Corps engineer, you go stay at a Corps engineer, you can stay at one of those for half price. And like this BLM land is usually free, but because they've made sites with picnic tables, they charge for it. Like say, regular 20, we got it price for 10. So it's really, really a good deal. Wow, this is gorgeous. Maybe coming up onto a point that we'll have to go down to be able to go up again, because I'd like to get, you see those rocks up there, I'd like to get there. So we'll go across here and look first. It's cool, just the points, and you can't see them. It's a little hazier up there, but at yesterday we got some cool shots. It's like over in Europe, a big cathedral. They have big spirals or spires. Well, I mean, big towers that come up there. You can see some little ones there. You can see those over there, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The evening, I think, is the best pictures, because it, I mean, now you're seeing some shadows and stuff, but then the evening time, you have shadows, and then you have the sun kind of shooting directly at it and show some highlights. And we put some pictures on our Instagram and Facebook. And remember, if you get a chance, look at our Instagram and Facebook. You'll see a lot of, we see the photos and stuff before I actually do videos, unless I do a short video. It gives you a chance to kind of see where we're at and what we're doing, because it's real simple to do the Instagram and Facebook. It's kind of instantaneous. The shorts are pretty easy too, but like I say, they're short. You can't do a very long video. Too much content to it, and if I do a longer video, then I have to do the editing and things like that, and I don't mind. I love doing it. But now if you look back, you just see the top of our RV back there. So getting further and further away. Seems like every time I go up on another ridge that I get a little better perspectives, see some new stuff. I don't know if you see it or not, but way below that cliff right there, you see some car windshields and stuff sparkling. And that's another road. I think you can go up there and go hiking. And I believe tonight we may drive. We kind of looked for last night and then didn't see the road till we come back, so it was too late. I'd like to go up there and see what the view is from up there. Let's see where I'm at here. So I believe instead of going all the way down there, I'm gonna kind of go down here and follow that ridge over. Won't have to lose as much elevation as if I went straight down in that gully. I think it's supposed to get up to 78. I think last night was maybe between 41 and 45. So we didn't run any heater last night, didn't turn it this morning, so a little chilly when we got up, but nice cozy under the blankets. Then got up this morning and went out the stove outside. I had set up. What did you say? Well, last night we cooked a porterhouse steak that we had bought in Wall, South Dakota at a meat market, and some yellowfin tuna, grilled it, and then made some street corn, and that was just awesome. So this morning I got up, didn't want to start the generator first thing. There's a few people there. I don't want to disturb their joy, and so went out and boiled the water and made a couple of cups of nice French press coffee, which was magnificent. Then we got a bath so I could get some clothes on. Went outside and made some more water and made a second pot of French toast, and then I made a ham and cheese omelet, which would like knock your eyes out. And grilled the little ham chunks up, and then put some Kerrygold butter, Irish butter in the bottom, and then poured my eggs in there and let that cook, and flipped it over and made John and I a couple of omelets with our French press coffee, and life is good. Not sure, let's see, hey, look at there, some deer or goat pellets, or someone has dropped some Jelly Belly jelly beans. I'm not gonna try one. I think I'll skip that one for today. Let's see how. Thought I heard something behind me. I think it was my it was my water in my backpack wiggling around. Thinking like somebody's following me up here, because it is so quiet. I mean, you hear absolutely nothing. Probably hear me breathing, but you know, in life, I think you forget. I know you do. Just living in everyday America, you forget what silence is like. You know, I can remember as a kid, you know, at night, unless you just seem to heard the far away of a fire truck or something, ambulance or something, you didn't hear noises. You hear people driving around, you hear commotion going on, you just heard quiet. And this is one of the few places, other than some places, I guess, other places out west that we've boondoggled, is that you don't hear anything. Well, I guess you hear me rambling on, but I guess that's the way it is. You know, we live in a very unusual time in life. You know, and I guess every generation says, oh man, I wish I could go back because it was better. And, you know, and I do say some things are better. Some things are good here. I mean, in the life that I live now. I mean, the technology and stuff that I've got to experience and got to work with in my life, I would say is pretty amazing. And I was very fortunate to have jobs and the ability to work with some technologies that were just cutting edge. And I can say places like Campbell Soup gave me great opportunity to do that. Great chances to, you know, use my skill, teach me skills, work with some wonderful, wonderful people. Wonderful mechanics, electricians, millwrights, supervisors and managers that, you know, we're not afraid to share. And I was Campbell Soup. I mean, I was 21 years old. I mean, I was the youngest mechanic that they had ever hired. And, you know, now I thank my brother-in-law Wilton Fleming for getting me the opportunity to get an interview. And, you know, it was just great. And then I've had the opportunity to move, working for Dannon in Pennsylvania, and Coke in Virginia and Alabama, and Nestle in Southern California, Pepsi in Northern California. You have to go to Iraq a little bit for a bottled water company, and then move back to where my kids are. We're in Virginia, and got to work for Kick. And Kick gave me 12 good years before I retired. And I got to say, before the last couple of years, it was a very good place to work. I mean, it was very challenging, don't get me wrong there, but I had the opportunity to do, to transform the plants, not just the plant I was at, but plants and travel, and it was good. And now God has blessed us with John and I be able to travel, and just like she said, she look out the window while she's working for Worth Moving and see all this, and kind of have to reach over and pinch yourself and think like, man, this is great, because she'll be sitting back at the house looking at the grass grow, and this is magnificent. And her job at Worth Moving has allowed us the flexibility to do this. And, you know, when I was talking about technology, I think about cell phones, and, you know, we have a Starlink satellite for our internet, internet and telephone. Doesn't matter where we're at, as long as we can see the sky. And that's another one, you know, who would ever thought 10 years ago you'd be sitting out in the middle of nowhere in your RV and reach anybody in the world. You know, and I think about the political controversies going on now, and man, we got some wicked politicians. We've got some good, but man, I don't know. It's kind of like a fine balance between how many good and how many bad we have. So many that are into their own, what can I do for me kind of situation. So, which that's kind of sad. Big gully wash down there. I'm sure that's probably not a place you want to be when it rains. Almost out of sight. I think I still see I think that's the top of our RV down there. Hey, I can see some fairly fresh steps right there, so I'm not the only one that had ever trodden this path here. Let's see. Somebody that's about a size 11 shoe. Had, I guess yesterday, like I said, had one spot. Provided that for us, and then after that, which I kind of thought he would around noon, he started peeling out of there. I think there was us and maybe two more left, and then yesterday evening, last night. They all come in, and I think he still had a couple spots open. They filled up. Bunch of just one night people there, and they got up, spent the night, and packed and left. So we're back to about 4 people, and I've seen a few coming in as I was coming on this hike. It's just a good spot, which, I mean, John and I, 2 years ago, when we came to Moab for our first time in the Winnebago, we stayed in a park, you know, a paid park uptown, and it was a nice park, and we kind of used that. I think we stayed maybe 3 nights at the most, and we went driving around in a Jeep and did a lot of Jeeping, and so, like, you know, let's find a place we can boondock. And I don't remember what I looked at, Campendium or something, and saw this place and come out here, and this was in July, August, which is typically a really warm time for Moab. We had the whole park for 3 days all by ourselves, and which it was nice. It was nice and cool till about noon. And then noon we'd have to turn the generator on, run the air conditioner. But other than that, it was just absolutely gorgeous. And it was, I think that 2 years ago, it was typically a little cooler here than it was last year and this year in the summer. I think this was pretty much a scorcher. So, if you hear me breathing hard, hey, I'm 66 years old. I'm a fat guy. So, don't judge me. Just encourage me. Wish you were here. Wish my daughter, Crystal, and son Matt and Jonathan were here. What a wonderful hike this would be. Love to have my grandkids here. And Hayden and Gunnar and Cameron and Kara and Chloe and Clayton and Caden and Cheyenne. And that would be a good family hike. Remember, I think it was 3 years ago, we all went to Colorado, to Fun Valley, and we all went on a hike, and that's one of those memory makers right there. So yeah, get on this rocky bluff here, look around and see how I'm gonna get down to be able to go to my next spot, next ridge. I guess this looks as good as any right here. I'm recording all this just in case I heart attack or stroke or fall to my death. You know, at least you'll have something to remember me by, and something to play at my funeral. That'd be awesome. Okay, so this is a request. This happened. Play at my funeral. Give happy one of these times that all my friends have to watch my YouTube videos. That way you can look at it, and you don't have to look at it and then click off of it. You know, out of respect, you'll have to just watch my whole video. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's kind of cruel too. Hey, give me a laugh. Well, let's see here. Where can we go next? I want to get up on that ridge over yonder. Always kind of evaluate these things. I know that you got to go down to go up. Kind of like that one of those kind of sayings that maybe a little bit over exaggerated. You can't just keep going up. Well, you can't just keep going up in life. Well, when you're out hiking, you can't just keep going up. So you need to go down. So just like in life, you evaluate what's the least amount that you got to go down before you go up. That'll preach right there. That's a good one. Use that in your business right there. Look for the, there's going to be downs. But evaluate, pick out which one's the less, so you can start back up. And isn't that typical of that should be kind of something you want to use for the economy that we're in right now. There's that wash I was telling you about. There are definitely going to be downturns, kind of big financial downturn right now. Interest rates and gasoline and groceries. Hey, well, we stopped on the way here. We went through, so we went, started in Virginia, so we went to Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, and now we're in Utah. Well, quite a few, but we're talking about groceries. Probably we stopped, and I can't believe this is in Conway, Arkansas. We went to a Walmart there for some groceries, and I got to say, those were the highest price groceries. And who would have thought that? I mean, we've been out in the middle of the West and Idaho and Montana and stuff and went to grocery stores. And I swear to you, the prices in that Walmart in Arkansas were at least half more than anywhere else I've seen. And I don't know why. So if you know why, give me a comment. Maybe, I don't know, maybe transportation, maybe they pay people more there. I don't know. But it was definitely more expensive. And I tell you what, we bought some steaks in South Dakota at a meat market, a local meat market. And we bought some steaks in, I guess the other, we were on one end of South Dakota and we went to, that was on the east and the east to the middle, and then we went to the west and bought some local grown. And I think they were like grass fed. Them things would knock your socks off. They were so tender and flavorful. And that's kind of difficult anymore when it comes to meat. I don't know where they hormone it up so it grows like crazy or what they do, but my goodness, that stuff is like, has a texture of meat, but that's about the only semblance of meat that there is of it. Oh, I'm going to stop here and get me a drink of water. Thinking, I wonder, think I can make it to that other ridge over there? I bet I can. It's not that far over there, but I do need to stop just a second and hydrate. See my Idaho University bag that I bought at a thrift store 2 years ago, and for $2. Woo. They make your back sweat. I feel my back's getting cold now. That was very delicious. Glad y'all let me stop and enjoy that water with me. Get my straps back on. Give the back time to evaporate a little bit. Didn't realize it was getting that hot, but here's the backpack. Ooh-wee, that's cold. All right, get my hiking walking sticks back on here. All right, let's head to that. I'm refreshed now, hydrated, I felt like Rango out in the middle of the desert. I was shedding a couple layers of skin there. Every once in a while I'll see an old cow patty or even an old hoof print. It's kind of faded out. And the reason for that is that this is all open range. So there always is the possibility. Let's see here. See how I can get across here without breaking a leg. Like a little wash here. And go down. And come back up. There we go. Now we're getting there. Kind of down that little valley dip right here, so I apologize if it's not quite as scenic. You see a few more grasses and bushes and sagebrush and evergreens growing down here. I guess this accumulates a little water during the rains. There's some deer or elk tracks right there. Kind of tight together. I wonder if there'll be more than one. So I see them go down and yep, they come back up. So just following the deer trail. They know where they're going, right? Probably stay down in here, some stuff they can eat, and also probably feel like they're probably protected down in here. No one's going to see them. I can't see anybody. Wow. Pretty neat, folks. Jonah's going to take a day of vacation tomorrow. We're going to go up to the Canyonlands National Park and go to Schaefer's Trail with a Jeep. And do some videos of that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Still following the deer tracks. We haven't seen a deer out, but I would kind of expect there's probably some here. I would think they were probably maybe mule deer. Like they came down through this way. Oh, yep. It's a big wash. And that's soft. That is some soft sand right there. Hey, Mr. Bug. Wow. That, I guarantee you when they get a rain, rolls. Yeah. Oh, hey, see a track. So, I'm not the only one that's ever been through here either. There's my deer tracks going back up through there. But I think one of them go here. Nah, I'm gonna go this way. I want to get to the, where I call this a hike. I want to get to the top of this ridge up here and see what kind of views I can show you. I'm sure there is some. Oh, yep, there he pooped. hey, there's the trail. Started again. It's kind of, think about it as a kid. I'll tell you a story. Maybe you don't like to hear stories, but I'm going to tell you a story anyway. When I was a kid and lived in Lawton, that's where I grew up for 13 years, I can remember that we lived, behind our house is a big open field. And across the highway was another open field, and there was a creek called Wolf Creek. And down in the part of this field was a big gully like this. Us kids used to go down there and jump our bicycles off of it. We used to dig down in the sand because it was just pure sand. We dug tunnels, wondering where we had died. But at the end of it was a big elevated railroad track. And you know, so I had the big sloping sides on it. And on each side of it was Johnson grass. And Johnson grass, I bet this stuff grew 5-6 feet. But I remember one winter that I was all by myself. I went down there and I had a real Army field jacket. I mean, I was so proud of that thing. My dad had bought it for me. It was warm. And I can remember laying probably 10, maybe 15 feet off the track. It was wintertime. It was probably 40, 35 degrees, wind was blowing. And I laid down in that Johnson grass and looked up, and I see blue sky, just like it is right here. And I thought to myself, you know, all I could hear was the wind rustling the Johnson grass. I thought, like, nobody in the whole world knows where I'm at. Nobody really knows where I'm at right now. But you know what? It was something that's in my mind, and I will never, ever forget the peacefulness of that. I was snug in that Army field jacket. I had that grass all around. Nobody could see me. I remember laying there, and a train came through. And I remember looking up and seeing the engineers on that diesel electric train, and just seeing his face, and him not knowing I was there. Went by, and I don't know how long I laid there. It almost seems like maybe I laid there a long time, but the only thing for sure I know is that it was just absolutely the most peaceful time in my whole 66 years of life, and burned into my memory. And I've tried to recreate that before. I remember last year we went to Joshua Tree. It was cold and snowy, and I went on a hike like this right here, and I found some real tall grass, and I just laid down in there. Nobody knew where I was. The wind, all I could hear was the wind blowing. I had a big black jacket on. It was real warm, and I just laid there for a while. It was probably like the closest to recreating that peaceful moment in my life. But this is not exactly like it, but it gets up there pretty close. So I think I'll quit rambling and just walk a little longer before I start coming back. But hope you enjoyed the sharing a little bit of my life. But I'll have to get back here in a minute. I have my beautiful bride waiting on me. Seems like every time I get to the top of a ridge here, I see another ridge that I need to go up to. But I want to think that I'm probably going to stop it here and give you one final kind of 360 before I start heading back. Just sharing God's beauty. Well, God bless you. Pray for us. We'll pray for you. And as we go along, we hope to have an opportunity to share with you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. But I sure have. 48 minutes. Man, a long time. I love y'all. Bye.